all your school rugby, all in one place. This is Next Gen 50.
Hello and welcome to this latest video from Next Gen 15. Today we're going to be looking at which schools have produced the most England under-20 internationals. Before we get going though, please let me remind you to like, comment and subscribe, and to hit that notification bell so that whenever we release a new video you'll be the first to know. So in this video we follow on from our previous video looking at the 10 schools that produce the most England under-18 internationals, and take a look at the 10 schools that produce the most England under-20 internationals. So it's worth us just explaining how we reached the conclusions we did. While clearly a lot of players move school for sixth form, and those schools that they've moved from deserve full recognition, the information on those pre-sixth form moves is not always available. It's a bit mismatch. It's just not consistent enough for us to use that as our base point. Therefore, we're using the school that players finished their school careers with for the purposes of this list. But we do acknowledge the role of those earlier schools, and we would love to hear from schools that these players attended prior to sixth form, so we can give you a deserved shout out across all of our channels. The under-20 programme, officially began in 2008. However, England did have a fixture in 2007, so we will use that as our starting point for this top 10, and we'll run up to and including the 2021 squad, despite players being uncapped from that squad at this point as a result of COVID. However, they are very shortly about to play some games. It's incredibly tight, and a huge number of schools only narrowly missed out on the top 10, but it's only a top 10. So here we go with that top 10 England under-20 international producing schools. In 10th place with 7 under-20 internationals are Cranley, just ahead of Bryanston, Harrow, St Paul's Catholic College. We start with fairly small numbers in this list. The under-20s has only been going for a really short period of time, so we have to bear that in mind. Cranley have done extremely well to have 7 England under-20 players in those 13 years, beginning with Sam Smith back in 2010 and followed since then by the likes of Dino Lamb, Seb Stegman, Henry Taylor and Hugh Tizard. Most recently, Oscar Beard, the Harlequins outside centre, was named to the 2021 England under-20 squad. In 9th place, we have Molten College with 8 England under-20 internationals. They're just ahead of Cranley. They've had a few Scots as well, actually, but the former Northampton Saints Acer College, their first England under-20 cap was Mikey Hayward back in 2011. Since then, they've had the likes of Tom Collins, Danny Hobbs-Awayemi, Ben Nutley, Howard Packman, Tom Stevenson and James Grayson, Paul Grayson, the England international's son, of course. In the 2021 England under-20 squad, they have Tommy Freeman, who's nailed down a starting place in the Saints backline already. It's been looking absolutely awesome for them. So promising times ahead for the Molten College alumni. There's a tie for 7th place with 10 England under-20 internationals each. 2 other former ACE colleges, current ACE college in one case and a former one in another. Oaklands College and Prince Henry's Grammar School with 10 players each. Oaklands College, their ACE tie-in with Saracen, first saw results on the under-20 circuit for England back in 2011 with Jake Sharp. Since then, Nick Ortrak, Max Crumpton, Nathan Earle, Tom Jubb, George Perkins and Billy Walker have all come through, as well as England's Jack Singleton and Wales' Nick Tompkins. Their most recent under-20 cap was Joel Kapoku, back in 2019, the Saracens' second row with a huge future ahead of him. Prince Henry's Grammar School, for an 8 or 9 year period, when they were linked to, under various guises, Leeds Tykes, Leeds Carnegie, Yorkshire Carnegie, through the ACER programme, they really ruled the roost. Scott Freer earned his England under-20 cap in 2008 and was pretty quickly followed by Chris Walker, Max Green, John Spainbridge, Don Barrow, Charlie Capps. But probably the coolest thing is that at one point they boasted the entire starting England under-20 front row with Lewis Boyce, Jack Walker and Paul Hill. Sadly all moved away from Yorkshire now with them spread across 3 different clubs, but a fantastic effort that was. And their most recent under-20 cap was Max Wright back in 2017, who of course is now down at Bath. In 6th place, with 11 England under-20 internationals, just one more than Oakland's and Prince Henry's Grammar School, are the legendary Wellington College. John Fisher, the player rather than the school, was part of the first under-20 group in 2008, and he was to be quickly followed by Guy Armitage, and then a real golden age of talent for Wellington College in the likes of Josh Basham, Rory Brand, Sam Aspland-Robinson, Ben Loader, Tom Parton, Matt Williams, and the sadly departed Seba Denner-Alule. It really was just a golden era. If Wellington College ever don't have a golden era. The caps continue with Marcus Rhodes and Lucas Brook, both named in the 2021 squad. And there'll almost certainly be a place up on this list before the year is out, with their 2019 skipper Finn Baxter almost certainly set to earn under-20 caps when the Six Nations begin in the delayed tournament this summer. Into the top 5, and another former ACER college. The success of the ACER ACE programme can really be seen through these England under-20 stats. We have Ivybridge Community College in 5th place with 12 England under-20 internationals. Their first under-20 cap came in 2009 through Dave Lewis and Dan Williams, as well as full England international Ben Moon, who's now an absolute superstar down at Exeter Chiefs. After them came Tommy Bell, Jack Arnott, Corey Britton, Brighton College coach Joel Conlon, Addison Lockley, Sam Hill, Stuart Townsend, and World Cup finalist Ben Spencer. Their most recent under-20 cap was Exeter Chief skipper and fly half Joel Simmons, who you might have seen picked up an MBE for his role in Exeter's Premiership and Champions Cup double last season. It's a fantastic effort from Ivybridge, and it would be a surprise to see them climb even higher despite no longer having ACE status. They've had real success in under 15 school cup category of late, so keep an eye on them for the future. We have a tie for 3rd place, and they're the 2 schools that finished 1st and 2nd in our list of the top 10 England under-18 producers, Millfield and Sedbergh. They've each produced 13 England under-20 internationals for a tie of 3rd on this list, and there's the promise of plenty more to come, and that's before we even think about the countless players that have played for other countries as well. Sedbergh's first under-20 caps came in 2009 through Carl Ferns and Tom Casson. It's been a pretty steady stream for the men in brown since. Nathan Morris, Sam Stewart, Scott Wilson and Sam Moore all came through. More recently, Ali Crossdale, Max Davies and Cameron Redpath joining them. In 2020, the Cumbrian Giants had 4 players in the England under-20 setup. Tom Curtis, Rob Farrar, Will Hayden Wood and Josh Hodge. It's a staggering number to be in one age group. And to be honest, these 13 are only set to grow as time goes on. There's some extraordinary talent in the younger year groups at the moment at Sedbergh. Millfield's first under-20 caps were James Clark and Mark Odajobi back in 2008, and they were pretty quickly followed by Mako Vunipola and Henry Thomas. Imagine coming up against that pair. I mean, that must be one of the most formidable schoolboy front rows of all time. As well as scrum half Chris Cook was also part of that group. They were followed by the likes of Josh Baelish, James Dunn, Tom Ellis and Gabriel Ogre, and one of the most talented school players that I've ever seen, Darren Atkins. He's just a fantastic schoolboy player. And then, of course, Vunipola and Thomas's fellow England cap, Jonathan Joseph, also earned his under-20 colours around the same time as them. And in the 2021 squad, his younger brother Will has also been named alongside his Millfield teammate Ewan Richards. So not only a few family ties there, but a really strong Millfield tie going all the way through the under-20 programme, and plenty more to come as well with players in England under-18 squads and all sorts down the line. Really exciting group to come. Just pipping Millfield and Sedbergh to 2nd place is another former ACER college, Wiggiston and Queen Elizabeth I College. The school has worked so closely with Leicester Tigers for so long. They have 14 England under-20 internationals, and they began with England's 95 cap tight head Dan Cole. And since he came through, the floodgates have absolutely opened. The likes of Charlie Beckett, Ollie Bryant, Will Evans, Matt Everard, Jake Farnworth, Owen Hills, Will Hurrell, Jordan Olawafella, Will Owen, Tom Price, Harry Rudkin, and the exciting talent that is Jacob Umanga, all gaining under 20 caps. One of the extraordinary things is their conversion rate from England under 18 internationals to England under 20s. They were 7th on our under 18 international producers list with 26. Which means that over 50% of those England under 18 internationals have earned under 20 honours, which is a pretty extraordinary stat. The most recent of those being Joe Hees in 2019, who we know Eddie Jones is having a really close look at. So Wiggiston and Queen Elizabeth I College in second place of 14 England under 20 internationals. If the rest of the top 10 is pretty tight, second and 10 are separated by just 7 England under 20 internationals. The gap between first and the rest is just enormous. It'll come as no surprise that Harvey College are number 1 on this top 10 list with a staggering 23 England under 20 internationals. That's 9 more than anyone else. If we thought that Wiggiston's conversion rate from under 18 to under 20 international was impressive, look at Hartpury. 35 England under 18 internationals converted into 23 England under 20 internationals. Just incredible. Yeah, ACE College or not, the work that Harvey College have done and the value they've given to England, especially at age grade level, is just extraordinary. Even more extraordinary, actually, is that all of those 23 under 20 internationals have come since 2010. Johnny May was their first that year. He's obviously gone on to be an absolute star winger for England. And since then, the list of full internationals who have gained under 20 caps that attended Hartpury includes Italy's Callum Brayley, Ireland's Billy Burns, Ellis Genge and Dan Robson from England, Wales's Ross Moriarty, who also became a British and Irish Lion. And then as well as senior internationals, there's loads of pro players, Ollie Adkins, Joe Batley, Tom Griffiths, Kieran Knight, Gloucester captain Lewis Ludlow, Ryan Mills, Matt Prothero, Will Safe, Alex Seville, Elliot Stooke, JJ Tonks, Henry Trinder, Zach Sharupa, and a guy who almost got his England cap before injury, Harry Randall. Most recently, Gloucester's Ethan Hunt and Arthur Clarke, alongside Northampton Saints' Tommy Matthews, were all named to the 21 England under 20 squad. So the Harvey College production line at under 20 level continues and is quite simply unrivaled. It's just extraordinary. They're absolutely number 1 on this list. So that's our top 10 England under 20 international producers, an incredibly tight top 10 from 2nd to 10th and beyond, to be honest, but with Hartpury College leading the field by a distance up at the top. To run through it again for you, from 10 to 1, in 10th we have Cranley with 7 England under 20 internationals, in 9th Molten College with 8, ahead of them, tied for 7th at Oaklands College and Prince Henry's Grammar School with 10 each, while in 6th are Wellington College with 11. In 5th, Iverbridge Community College with 12, and then tied for 3rd are the top England under 18 producers, Millfield and Sedbergh with 13 each. Wiggiston and Queen Elizabeth the first college pipped them both for 2nd though with 14, but it was Hartpury College in 1st by distance with 23. So what can we kind of learn from that? Certainly what we can see is that the ACER program has been a huge success at under 20 level. 6 of the top 10 here are ACER colleges, combining for 77 England under 20 caps. It's also clear that kind of Hartpury College aside, things are really tight. 10 schools were 2 players away from being inside this top 10. And in just 13 years of under 20 rugby, 146 different schools have represented England under 20, which really just shows how diverse the player pool is and really what a range of schools they come from independent to state, and then obviously this massive swell of players at these ACER colleges. So it's a really diverse pool. That's it for this video though. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, as there are more videos like this to come. We're going to be diving into the big one in a few days, the top 10 England international producing schools, as in full internationals. So you want to be notified of that. So please do hit the notification bell. Do please like and comment as well, helps out massively. And be sure to check back our earlier video actually that detailed the top 10 England under 18 producers. You've heard me refer back to that a couple of times in this one.
Meantime, head to www.nextgen15.com. That's www.nextgenxv.com to check out all the latest news and views. There's loads of stuff going on in school rugby at the moment. And don't forget to check out our social channels at NextGenXV on both Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.